And we are live.
Okay, welcome back to the fight. Omega was just hit by a laser. How does Omega respond?
How far down is Trinity sitting?
Compared to you, I believe she's actually above you at the moment.
Yeah, not more than 20 or so feet, though, if I remember right.
Yeah, she's not very far away. She was able to laser you, so
although
presumably
my
you can
token
fire
doesn't
back.
say so.
Does your token not say so?
Not at present.
No, it does not. Yes, you were staggered.
That means I only have one standard or move, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's where we run into problems with the way I built this character, is I have almost nothing I can do as a standard or move. If I'm staggered, I can't do much in a turn.
To be fair, I think
let's see what
most
I can
people have
fire
that
off.
problem. Staggered is a bad thing.
Yeah, it's too bad she's not under me, or I'd use Gravitic Blast and ride the building down on her. Just Yeah, I think I'm just going to fire a strong nuclear blast off. Okay,
Okie dokie.
that's an area effect. I can hit it. Sorry, yeah. So it's an area effect. She's the only one I can hit with. I'm going to hit with it anyway, so I'll fire it at Trinity. No need to draw it.
Okie dokie. What is the dodge DC to have it?
I'm just checking what rank I have in it. That's my stronger one. It's at rank 7.
Okay, and what is the damage ranks? Rank
yeah,
7.
The effect's
Yeah.
rank 7, yeah. It's also incurable damage and affects insubstantial, which means it also affects things that would normally be immune to radiation. Cha-ching.
Okay. Does this incurable damage apply if they don't actually take damage from it?
Incurable just means if they take the damage, it can't be healed.
Okay. Well, Trinity doesn't seem to care, though you do see a great big bubble flash into existence around her for a moment when you fire off the blast. One could assume that she has some sort of protective field around her.
Hers.
Hers, yes.
I don't know. Screw it.
They are female.
All of them? Alright, hers then.
It's my turn then.
I believe you have some things you can do as free actions?
Yeah, she's already lightning, I think.
This is true. Oh.
I think that was like her big free action thing.
I can activate concealment, but it doesn't help.
Alright. On to Alan's turn.
Let's see here.
Put the box in the fire and move on.
Yeah,
Or pass it to one of the
good
8.
news, good news, bad news. This bubble is really, really strong when I make it this small. Bad news, I cannot move it.
Can you do other stuff besides move?
I can move anywhere within arm's reach of the bubble I've created, and
Do both hands have to be touching it?
it needs to be in arm's reach, yes?
I said do both hands, not...
No.
Oh. Use one hand to explode something?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Maintaining the crystalline structure takes up all my transmutation ability. I can do nothing else that involves powers. Actually, hold on, no. I can invoke my matter sense while I'm maintaining this, but there's nothing really worth exploring within range of me.
Got a gun.
Actually, no. You two are behind that building. I cannot see you.
The Duke did walk through the building.
Yes. Which means I can see him vaguely through bits of falling debris and bent rebar and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to... Oh, let's see here. That truck is on fire. That truck and that van were thrown. Alright, by way of keeping situational awareness, then, I'm going to use Matter Sense to feel about and get an idea which walls of still standing buildings are the weakest at the moment, in case I need to go for cover.
You want to know which walls are the weakest?
Yes. So of all of the
ones with
buildings,
holes in them.
of all the walls in compromised buildings, I want to get a sense of where I could go if I needed to get into cover safely.
Assuming he has to use that building.
This is why I'm partially confused why you're asking for the weakest and not the strongest.
It
I want to know what walls and ceilings not to stand under.
Okay.
To which logic says the ones with holes in them.
In case I need to help pursue Epiphany there.
Yeah, it really is about as simple as it looks. The front wall where the Duke walked through is the weakest, with close second being the one he walked through again to get through Epiphany, that being the western wall here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still fairly stable, mostly because he didn't walk through all of the wall, where you basically did that with the front wall. Both the back and the eastern wall are still structurally sound for the moment.
Alrighty.
Considering where he put the holes, I'd say the southern one's the strongest structurally, I guess.
Is it a fairly open design building? There's no interior walls I can bother thinking about?
What is this building? This is...
Looks like a 3-story office to me.
Yeah, it is an office building. So when you get inside, there is a receptionist desk or sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very back, there is one set-off room, but aside from that, it's mostly open.
Okay. Then I am maintaining my bubble around Tar Pit here, and hoping he doesn't have any more tricks up his sleeve.
Up his goop.
Tar Pit bubbles at you.
Mm-hmm.
In glorious anger. Hey, I wonder what Gator's doing on his turn.
Running.
Lots of running.
Hup, 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 hup.
He's determined. Good for him.
Epiphany Jones wants very much to get far away from all of you.
How fast can you run, lady?
See, now that's the lovely thing. It's not about how fast she can run. No, Epiphany Jones will... Well, I'd say she scowls, but she's been scowling this entire time. There's really no change in her facial expression. And then the ground breaks open, and I get to run away. Can you guess what happens now? Yes. Yes, she
does the Looney Tunes hole into the ground thing?
No, but the ground behind her does kind of erupt open. It's far enough away from both of you that you don't need to worry about the falling debris or anything. But, yeah, there's now a very convenient hole in the ground for her to jump through. And she will do so.
Not so much Epiphany Jones as it is Serendipity Jones.
Lol.
What's a good way to indicate a hole in the ground?
That is a big square black.
Black circle.
Yeah, black circle.
Or go find the bottomless pit or toothed pit icons in the map tool.
It's full of teeth. She's run to the wrong hole.
Anyone got a grenade? Just throw down there.
Don't look at me. I could make a grenade, but it'd take about, apparently
it
6
clicked
weeks.
over there for some reason. Hold on.
Man, it's fine. I just wonder how big the hole is, personally. Ah, okay.
I am an endless supply of grenade, but I'm not over there.
At the moment, she's still visible, but she has very obviously opened a hole into the sewers below.
You can go chase after that if you want.
She did seem to have used up all of her movement for now in jumping down there. The Duke!
On one hand, Naomi can probably keep up. On the other, Trinity's still a problem. And so is Epiphany. Actually, I'll just cut off her escape. I'd like to collapse the entire sewer system on her head. If she wants to be stupid enough to go underground and fight the Duke, it's her choice.
Okay. I assume you're just trying to do this through a blunt force smashing it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to collapse the tunnel on her head. She wants to be stupid, she can be stupid.
Alright. Roll your strength damage. Because I'm pretty sure you can hit the ground.
Yeah, do I roll it? I guess, do you need me to roll that? Is that it's like a rank damage thing, isn't it? Doesn't it roll toughness, I guess?
Yeah.
It's ground toughness versus DC a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, alright. What's the ground in this area?
Yeah, where I am, I'd guess concrete.
Concrete, lots of dirt directly under it, laid gravel.
And dirt doesn't have jack shit to stop me.
That may be so, but if it's a sewer system large enough to walk through, that means it is down at least 11 feet, depending on the grade of concrete being used.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 11 feet of packed earth and whatever reinforcements the surface and sewer has.
All I really gotta do is crack the sewer hard enough for it to collapse inwards. I don't need to, get through. So I don't have to so much get through everything as damage it enough to where it just collapses on its own.
Yeah, with your strength, you're not doing that from this side, from the surface. You have to get down there and crack the...
Alright,
okay,
well.
question for you.
Alright.
You can either make this as a routine check and just hit it, or you can attempt to actually hit it, and it would be a crit as long as you hit.
No, logic says I'd want to hit it. Hold on then. Do I have a thing? 1 second. Now I need to see what it does.
A crit just adds +5 circumstance bonus to,
No, it's something else. I'm looking at a thing I can do. I have lots of advantages, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. It would be relying entirely on luck to hit it, though, if I did this. What's a crit do? Just add 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't really need to. I can just take a routine check and use power attack and get the +5 there. So I can just do that.
So what is your damage DC?
With the additional +5, it's in the 30s now. Hold on.
I do need a full number.
Yeah, give me a sec. 33. I could swing and make it 38, which I'm tempted to do, but I need to roll 7. I don't know if it's worth it to try and roll. Do I have any way to modify that? Not using power attack.
So, sorry, what is it? 37?
Yeah, no, 33.
33, okay. Just a second then. Just need to make sure I have the toughness for this right.
Actually, it occurs to me since I'm punching down and I'm on top of that, I might just damage it enough for me to go through it. That kind of solves the problem.
This is complicated to do.
See, what I'm doing is doing stuff that doesn't attack her directly because I know she can re-roll the crap out of that, so screw that noise.
So far, she's been influencing pretty much any role she likes within range of her.
So, what is your DC? 33?
Mm-hmm.
The ground rolled a 20.
Wow, lucky ground.
Yes, so you do not collapse the sewer system. You do cause a lot of rubble to fall down in there, and you have left severe damage in the concrete, but the sewer system remains intact.
Okay, dumb question. Can I use my movement power that lets me go through walls on the ground?
You cannot go down.
Sorry, I had to be silly. I don't think I can move into her hole and just crush her that way. I don't think you can just do that.
No.
So Duke has accomplished all he wants to accomplish for the day, so I'm going to just move.
Okay.
I slammed the ground, it didn't work, screw it. I assume she's doing something at this point.
So now, if I want to go after her, I have to make the choice of going into an unstable tunnel now against a luck user.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I tried.
You can thank Ralph for that.
This is now a way worse situation.
Well, I can't get in there. I tried to get in there my way, it didn't work. The ground was lucky, what do you want from me?
And that was even without her having to re-roll it.
Lucky ground, what do you want? I can control many things. Luck I cannot do.
Epiphany Jones can.
Yeah, but even then she can only, influence it, not truly control it. She could have rolled 2 1s, you know.
As a reminder, because it's very possible people have forgotten, Trinity is currently the one holding the briefcase that the Aegis agents had been protecting.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I moved over here. It's because, well, that one's either solved or doing something I can't do anything about, so I'm going to go solve the thing I can solve. Just shoot at that
about
person.
The Aegis agents, they're kind of just hiding in that building right now.
Gave up
because
on
their
your
guns don't do much of anything.
As a man who carries a gun, yes.
You're just shooting at the wrong targets.
Sometimes you're not trying to hit anything.
So, Gio.
Decisions. Meh, meh.
Go get her.
Yeah, Screw it. Yeah, screw it. I'm going after her. I don't care.
Okay.
This will end poorly for me.
She has 4 bruises.
We shall see.
Yeah, that hasn't stopped it so far.
Well, you know.
I assume you're just jumping down and hitting her.
Pretty much.
Well, screaming, Kia!
But you
attack. You could just hit her and then jump right back out and just sort of stand there and be like, yeah, collapse it now, what's it gonna do?
It would cause tons of rubble to fall into the hole and therefore make it impossible to follow her. That's what it would do.
Yeah, oh, she can move then do it. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I thought you just tried to do it to crush you, is the worry. So, slice her hair off.
Give him a second.
Yeah, I'm debating how much to negate my defenses to do it. That's entirely what the question is.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what she would do to hurt you down there.
Drop a ton of rocks on my head.
From a hole? You're in a hole.
I will remind you that she has been spontaneously creating explosions from nothing.
And right next to her face, though?
It doesn't have to be right next to her face.
And then a column of fire erupts from under your feet. Is that what we're looking at here?
And then the fiend is set upon by a horde of rats.
Angry rats. Big uns.
Yeah, screw it.
She has 4 bruises, so you don't really need to prioritize. Well, that probably hits. Even
No,
at
she
3.
can make me re-roll it. But
you got a 3
rolled a
this
3.
and
Yeah,
you're probably
that's
still
true.
gonna hit.
I haven't hit
you
so
are.
far. Okay, wow. Amazing.
Yeah, you're good at this.
What is your damage DC?
Well, she can make me reroll, can't she? Or is she waiting for something else?
It depends on multi-attack.
If Epiphany Jones were to make Chiome re-roll, the roll could potentially be better, and then she would have that.
Yeah, multi-attack. Yeah, fair enough. I was just curious.
Let's see, 15 plus rank, so that's 21 base.
And you didn't add anything else to it?
No, I'm not power attacking. I'm having trouble hitting her, so...
Right, okay.
And she has 4 bruises, and she's just a person, so good luck with that one. You rolled twice, but that's pretty hard to pull.
But she rolled high.
Yeah.
Probably still takes a bruise, though.
No, she does not.
Wow, okay, something's going on here.
She manages to twist out of the way of it and kind of roll along the ground of the sewer.
You had to roll
She
in the
definitely
sewer.
was not able to fully dodge that one, but she doesn't seem any worse for wear from it.
You had to roll in the sewer. I consider that a moral victory on our side.
Uh-huh. I assume that's your turn.
Yeah, she's not going to run from this chick.
Tar Pit
You're in a
is
box.
attacking the box. Because
Yes,
that's
he
what
is.
Tar Pit does.
Mm-hmm. I have half a mind to turn this damn thing opaque.
He'll be making the attack check on the object for the crit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just make sure he doesn't roll, yeah, he can auto-pass that as long as he doesn't roll a 1. Which he does not. So it's a +5 on his damage DC. Please roll me its toughness.
Not bad.
32. What is his damage DC now? Yeah, he smashes into the walls quite a few times with hands and arms made of tar, but gets ultimately nowhere, and continues to glare at Alan. His eyes kind of shift in the shape.
You can start calming down, or I can start turning this this nice, convenient box into 8 boxes.
Whether he even understands you is very difficult to tell. Trinity. What is Trinity going to do? Ah, right. She actually has something very much in mind for this situation. Namely,
Possession?
Trinity is going to look around, see Tar Pit in a box, Captain Oblivion has left the area, so is Epiphany Jones now, and Gator's been gone for a while now. So, Trinity is going to throw her briefcase at Omega and start flying away.
It's a briefcase full of
Ow, my
explosives.
face.
No, it's just a briefcase.
Full of Ebola.
Certainly hope not.
All
We
right,
can probably safely assume that Omega can catch the briefcase without much difficulty.
Oh, great. Now I have Ebola. Now I'm going to keep dying of Ebola, being brought back by immortality and dying of Ebola again.
Yes,
life
won't
sucks
that be
now.
fun? So Trinity's going to fly away. We'll see if anybody chases her. Omega, you are no longer staggered. Actually, wait, yes you are.
Because
I
you got
shouldn't get your
that.
hopes up like that.
It's
Yeah,
days
you
it
shouldn't.
wears off.
Yes. You have been thrown a
How
briefcase.
far away did you get to?
Let's see, she has flight 6.
Really fucking far if she wants, then.
Uh-huh.
Well, I can't do anything about that then.
Yeah, she's over 1,000 feet away.
You could teleport, but I don't know how your teleport works. I haven't memorized that.
You have been thrown a briefcase. The briefcase is, very high-tech. And very definitely locked.
Ralph could probably figure it out. Then Aegeus would arrest him for nosing about.
Yeah, I don't really have much I can do. Let me check something.
Considering that most of everybody here is either captured or out of sight, not exactly surprising.
Could you go help keep Tarbeck at Tarpit in a box? Because you can make a box around his box, double box.
You want a double bag Tar creature?
Considering the way he's going about things.
Yeah, I can... I suppose I can stretch out a bubble. Let me draw one. There, I'll stretch out a bubble like that.
Surrounding Alan, huh?
If I remember right, Omega's bubbles are selective.
Right, yes, okay. Yeah, no big deal then. Hopefully you don't decapitate the body of that poor Aegis agent.
No, but yeah, the bubble comes out of my hand as a wall and spreads into a bubble at the end.
That's the silliest bubble.
But it is an effective one. Alan, you have been surrounded by a bubble.
I look to make sure that it's Omega's and not a hostile one.
It certainly seems to be coming from Omega.
That'll have to do. Double checking my inventory here. Okay. It would be good if I can make this tar pit portable.
I mean, if you made it so I could reach in and just keep punched him till I think he's unconscious.
You had no success at that the last time he was within arm's reach.
I don't know. Listen, it may take a while. I don't know whether or not he even can get hurt.
Did I see... I can't remember. Did I see Tar Pit try and attack Chiome at any point?
She was too fast.
Oh wait, he did try to grab her at one point. But it was to no avail.
And then she just proceeded to never be next to him again.
Gotcha.
And there you were.
He did basically also immediately stop going after her the moment Alan was seen.
Yes.
You're the most human thing he's seen in a while.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I have a growing retinue of things that I can choose among, so... I am going to take a packet of raw material, burst it on the outside of my own crystalline sphere, and start... I will let it just stay foam for the moment, and I would like to start smearing it around. Damn the foam that I'm going to get on the sleeve of my jacket. I would like to start spreading it around across this sphere. I understand it will probably take a turn or two in order to make a complete covering over my crystalline air box.
Okay. That will most certainly take up your entire turn this round.
The intention is to get a bunch of raw materials slathered all over the thing so that I can transmute all of that foam into something a little more resistant.
Makes sense.
Make something that can hold him and be carried. No, I am not going to leave him the benefit of an air hole. Go ahead.
Gator continues to run his way back. He's almost returned. Epiphany Jones looks very scandalized for having to go into the sewers, and especially having to roll in the sewers.
Good.
Told you, moral victory.
So, she begins running away at top speed to the east, actually, and yells behind her that this bitch has something explode in her face. So she is still in the sewers, but, you know. And, Chiome, something explodes in your face.
We don't know what,
Surprise.
but something does.
There wasn't an
wasn't my
explosion
face.
before, and now there's an explosion.
Epiphany Jones is so lucky that her powers don't require her to be very eloquent about things.
I'm assuming it's an area attack.
Yes, please make me a dodge check.
As a bonus. So last turn I took 5 off my active defenses, but I have evasion, so I get 5 for against area.
Yep.
Lucky you.
Ninja. Or street samurai, rather.
Okay, you passed that. Please get me a toughness.
My less awesome stat.
Yeah, but you halved it, so it shouldn't
You
be that
take a
bad.
bruise. Mostly,
Yay.
you just get a few pieces of rubble into your face. It's unpleasant, but you recover from it easily enough.
Go for her
I've
hamstrings.
had worse.
Yes, you have. You took a goddamn thunderbolt. What happened to you?
Duke!
Who's out of things to punch?
He kind of is, yeah.
You just communicate to show me. You got her. I don't know if she got her. I communicated.
There's an explosion out of the hole in the ground behind you, and you're going
And
to
I asked
say,
if she got her.
Bit busy, Ralph.
Which way she go?
She almost
Well, I guess
down in
I
that
just-
tunnel, isn't she?
I guess I just hopped down there, so it probably could know cardinal directions still without getting turned around yet.
You do know which direction she went to.
Actually, wait. I think I have something that just tells me.
Most likely, but either way, you do know which direction she went in.
East. About 30 feet.
I go-
Collapses and I can't get out of her anymore.
Actually, where am I going?
Somewhere?
I took
Over
the
the
hole
rainbow.
after you. Oh wait, can the hole even fit Duke? That's actually a fair
No, it
question.
cannot.
Didn't think so. Can I make it fit Duke?
I'm
Probably,
underneath this
but
hole.
you'd collapse the tunnel and
That's
probably
good.
squish Chiome.
Ralph, if you're done knocking down buildings, could you watch the skyline and make sure no one comes back to blast us?
Okay. I hear that. And I spend my standard to do the aim action, which just means I'm ready to shoot a thing. And I won't actually shoot, I just get a bonus to hit things if I shoot.
At the moment, you see nothing in the skies. You do hear helicopter noises from far off.
Alright, well, that's all I can do.
Chiome! Let's just take a wild guess as to what you're doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm racing right past her and going right after her again.
Lovely.
The hamstrings.
Screw the hamstrings, go for the spine. Right in the spine.
Re-roll that, please.
Still in the spine.
You still hit. Okay. What is your damage DC?
21 without multi.
Okay.
Well, you got a 25. If she had a 20 in her dodge, then you should have got at least a +2.
Ooh, even on the reroll, she does not do well for that one.
Yay!
21, you said.
She has 4 bruises. Her toughness should be jack shit.
Her toughness is now a +4.
Yeah, jack shit.
You can still roll and beat my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't.
That is 3 degrees of failure. So, she has another bruise and is now staggered. You managed to slice right into her abdomen, and there is blood on the ground now. She gasps, but doesn't seem to have a witty response for that one. If you could call any of her previous responses witty.
I'm gonna burn a hero point for another standard.
Okay.
I'm going to chop you into sushi. And I will eat it.
We're just gonna hit her again.
Re-roll that, please.
Gonna hit her harder.
Ooh, okay then. Ouch. She has used up all of her luck for this encounter.
Oh shit.
She had 5 rerolls available to her.
And she's done everything she could.
Ooh, yeah, she really fails that one. You manage another cut right across her abdomen, which she falls over from the force of and is kind of bleeding out.
She must have failed that, but yeah, if you fail it by a certain degree, you start dying.
In a nice, hygienic sewer.
Enjoy whatever horrible disease you get.
Gonna have to carry her out of here next time.
Yeah, you are.
Tarpit will continue trying to break his prison.
You know, if he gets out, I can't shoot him, right? Because I'd have to shoot the barrier first.
He did not roll a 1. Please roll me toughness. You're fine. He continues to flail worthlessly at the barrier. Trinity has left the area. She will not be coming back anytime soon. Omega!
I maintain my bubble.
Bubbles for everyone. Alan.
Hey Ralph, what do you reckon's tougher? Your arms or Chiyomi's?
Mine? Why? You mean my physical ones or, Duke's?
The Duke's.
Duke's. By a long ways.
Righto. I will continue my slathering of material over this thing.
You will have finished it by the end of this turn.
Okay, let me just do a quick spot of arithmetic here. Let's see here, I ended up making a 555 cube, and I've got 125 cubic feet of material here. 125 div 6. No, 125 div 25. 555 is 25 times 6. Oh, unit confusion. That's what's throwing me off. There we go. Okay, I'm going to be able to make a 10-inch thick layer of material on all sides of this cube.
Okay.
Ideally. The problem with that is I had to make a seal with the ground to capture this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't put anything on the bottom. I'm going to have to hope that the reason he was not that he has at no point simply gone through the pavement and come somewhere else is because he cannot. But that's the risk we run. Will I still have any time for a standard action after I finish lathering up the 5 exposed sides of the cage box?
Not on this turn.
Okay. Ralph, get a little closer in case this doesn't work out.
Can do.
Epiphany Jones is bleeding. Duke.
I kind of gotta wait for the shield to come down, unless you want me to punch through that, so I'm just gonna
It's
delay my turn.
selective.
Just walk on through.
Alright.
Omega's a nice girl. I'm sure she'll let you.
He thunders through and says, alright, I'm here. What you planning to do?
I got a little cannery operation going here.
You sure you got the right material to keep him in the can? He's awful slippery. There's a single hole in that can, he'll just wiggle his way out, I bet.
Will Ralph be doing anything?
I guess I can ready, and I don't know if ready actions fucking exist in this. I can do the aim action again, I guess, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's vague, sense someone appears and dives down.
You know, in case a sharp-toothed cultist suddenly bursts through the wall and punches someone with 4 crits in a row.
Yes, that. You lived.
In any case.
In my game, I would have been drawing from the crit card deck.
Ralph. Action.
Howdy. I just told you, aim. That's my action.
Alright.
It's a standard. It's a standard. It just gives me a bonus on shooting things.
Show me.
Alright, quick question. Is picking someone up an extra action?
It's standard, that's all. It's just a grab attempt against an unconscious body who can't resist in any way, shape, or form, so standard.
Yes, it'd be a standard.
Okay, so I can't help treat her and move her.
No, you can get her out of the sewer. Or you can just treat her where she is, up to you.
That is entirely up to you, yes.
Just a pretty small chance. Without, I don't have first aid supplies, so... let's just grab her.
She is in no position to resist you.
Yeah, I should have plenty of movement. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring her out. And drop her basically in front of this building. And yell that I need a medic.
You could see one of the Aegis agents stick their head out of the window above you in some confusion. Then there's muffled talking inside, and you can hear boots on stairs. For now, though, nobody appears.
Well, that's my whole action.
Does Torpit roll a 1? He does not. Please roll me toughness.
Hoping I don't roll a 1.
You are 1 above his DC.
Okay.
So he, the thumps are a little louder, but he doesn't seem to have gotten anywhere near and getting out yet.
Okay.
Omega, are you holding your bubble?
Pretty much, yep.
Welcome to Bubble Land. Alan.
Mr. Bubbles, you're the one.
Alright.
Gain the hero point.
Ralph.
Howdy.
He might be strong enough to throw this off of him. So, soon as I've got this, made into proper armored box, I need you to put a hand on top of it and make sure he stays in there.
That I can do.
Alrighty. Question to the GM, then.
Yes.
Chiyomi's synthetic limbs. As far as a material toughness, what was her metal? What was her steel determined to be?
I had this whole discussion about that.
Yes, I know what it is descriptively. I want to know if it counts as titanium or as better.
Her metal? It counts as steel, practically. Maybe a little better than that, but in terms of toughness, Chiyomi isn't all that tough.
Let me fill in the blank. An inch of steel has a toughness of 9. An inch of titanium has a toughness of 15. Super alloys can have toughnesses of 20 or better.
She would be steel then, because I did not use any kind of fancy schmancy.
She's from the future.
Yeah, and most of her toughness checks aren't against her arms and legs.
Mm-hmm.
It's against her organs.
But the other question is, the metal does need to be lightweight.
That's the thing, and titanium isn't all that much heavier than steel, by the by. It's enough to be a problem in large doses. That's why we don't build, like, say, planes out of titanium.
I am not at all concerned with mass.
Well, you know what the Duke is made of. You just use that. That's the toughest thing you're going to ever find.
Yeah, that's the next half of the question, and this is strictly to the DM. Alan would certainly have had some time to, make little turn a couple playing cards or something into various materials and see how it holds up to a press mill. Between Chiyomi's armor, the Duke's armor, or just plain Jane titanium, what would be toughest?
Toughest would indeed likely be the Duke, only because Chiyomi is built to be able to still move quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If Chiyomi was instead a mecha like the Duke is, it would be hers, but she is not.
Alrighty. In that case,
You could probably assume that the Duke's material toughness is in the super alloys range.
alrighty. Then I am going to...
Big mini Duke?
I am going to dismiss the interior bubble, and as fast as I can, transmute the layer of... wait for a gap between his hammerings, transmute a layer of the entire thickness of the raw material I've slathered on there into solid Duke armor. For the thickness of it being, since I can actually only cover 5 sides, that's a full foot of it. So that should give a +3 bonus to the toughness, beyond whatever you determine its base per inch toughness to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because transmuting that much material is going to leave me vulnerable, I am going to skedaddle out of the bubble but near the Duke so that I've got 2 layers of protection between me and whatever the hell comes my way.
Now, you are aware of the downside of this, yes? Because you have dropped the thing currently containing him, he gets a check for you trying to contain him with a different effect.
I suppose he could burst free of it if he's fast.
Or being made of liquid.
Mm-hmm.
I said, any hole.
This is the plan. Let's see how it works out.
You're close enough for me to interpose.
Congratulations, he rolled shit.
Okay.
So you hear a clank, and, he's in a box.
Again. Very different kind of box, though.
It is a very different kind of box.
I'm skedaddling over here while my heart attack wears off.
Good plan. Oh, hey. He's arrived on the scene, finally. So you all hear a kind of guttural roar, and you look up to the rooftops and see Gator standing up there, looking...
Gatory?
Well, he's not happy.
I don't even know if he can show emotion on a gator face.
It does mostly look like what it is there, and feral grin sort of deal.
He somehow managed to frown, though.
Well, you're mostly getting that by the string of curses.
If I had a hat, I'd tip it to him. How you doing? You like your trip?
I'm amazed he came
He
back.
has now stopped talking and is mostly salivating and glaring at the Duke. Epiphany Jones is bleeding. The Duke.
Well, I had an aim action. He's on the roof.
Indeed he is.
Daka, daka, daka.
Make your check.
I'm just determined whether or not I want to be maximum accuracy or try and boost the... Yeah, maximum accuracy in this one. So yeah, I will use all-out attack on it. So this is actually going to be one hell of a shot. Just double-checking aim to make sure I have it right.
Remember that in doing this, you will not be putting a hand on the box.
No, priority goes to that guy.
No, it doesn't.
He's in a double box, and I'll have a box to put him in. I'll just pick... If he gets out, I'll pick up the one you made and put him back in it and sit on it.
Alrighty.
Okay, hold on, I need to turn it... It's under running the game, because of course it is. There we go. You make an attack. Okay. That's 8. Okay, the question is this... You're making a ranged attack at close range. He's 5 stories out. That is not close fucking range. Okay.
No, it is not.
So it's just a +2 then. Alrighty. So...
He's a grand total of 105 feet away from you.
I can still hit him. That's not the issue. Okay. That is my chance to hit. His dodge, because I'm shooting him.
Yes, you have hit. What is your DC?
Much higher. Did I beat him? Because I have multi-attack on this, so I'm presuming I get the full +5.
Yes, you do.
Okay, so the DC is now... no, 12. Sorry, I was off by 1. So the DC is 12, so that's 15 plus 12 is 27.
Okay.
So DC 27 versus my Daka Daka.
You wing him pretty good with the bullets, and, well, there's a few holes in his arms. He mostly seems very surprised that he's gotten hit so soon on re-arriving to the battlefield.
Y'all want to surrender or take another shot?
He does not respond.
Of course he doesn't.
Chiome.
They're either loudmouth douchebags, they don't say anything ever.
Yeah, the ones who were going to talk are the ones you pretty much killed immediately. You don't get to complain when you do that.
Oh, I can move, though, so I was going to just
Oh, yes, go
put a
ahead,
foot on the
sorry.
box.
Yeah, alright.
If he wants to get up, he has to lift 25 tons plus however much the box weighs. Have fun with that.
Chiome.
So, none of the
Hold on.
Aegis... Oh,
There is an Aegis agent who comes out of the building at this point, and they do have a red cross on their shoulder.
Ah.
okay.
They kind of stare at the form of Epiphany Jones for a moment, before looking up to Chiome with a raised eyebrow visible through the visor in their helmet,
Yeah,
with
that's
the
a serious
unspoken
eyebrow.
question of, you seriously want me helping them?
Just stop the bleeding.
Look, you don't have to like it. Just don't let her die.
The agent just gives a bit of a tired nod and begins pulling stuff out of their bag.
Okay, well, I can see a very angry alligator.
Indeed you can.
He's got a hole in his arm.
He's got a few holes in his arms.
I have a very serious business gun.
Well, I'm going to slow things down again, but I'm taking an assessment.
Okay. Alright, what is your assessment? Do you have it on your skills now? I saw you doing that earlier.
All my skills should be up to date. So yeah, it's insight versus his deception. Hidden.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Jelmy takes a moment to analyze the Gator Man up on the roof, and almost instantaneously realizes every weak point in the stance he currently holds. You rolled well enough, and he rolled badly enough that I could tell you all of his defenses.
Oh, goody.
He has a defense and parry of 18. For fort, he rolls a +4. No, sorry, for fort he rolls a +14. For toughness, he rolls a +22. For will, he rolls a +6.
Those sound like they do include the +10 of passive.
No, that is actually his stuff. I just double-checked it.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gator's tough.
Alright.
I believe that kind of check is a standard action, isn't it?
Nope, it's a free action.
Wow, lucky you. I assume you're hitting him.
Actually, no.
Oh?
I'm using a feint.
How do you oppose this?
There's this whole thing for it.
Let's see, using it in...
By the better of their target's insight.
Acrobatics or insight, because I'm using an agile feint.
Acrobatics or insight, okay.
Whichever's better.
Yep.
He's terrible at both.
I would remind you that he is on top of a rooftop. One could assume he has some kind of talent in acrobatics.
No, he just could have the wild climbing power. That'd do it.
But with his ridiculous parry numbers, I'm just kidding.
He's a parry of 18. You have higher parry than that.
I thought you were saying that wasn't including that.
No,
Plus
dodge
10.
and parry always have the +10 included, because you don't normally roll those.
Mm-hmm.
The only time
God
you
damn
roll
it, the
dodge
system.
is for when, you're trying to avoid an area attack.
Yep.
Well.
So he has a 8 parry when having to roll, or 18 parry when you're trying to hit him.
Yes.
This is why I always include the term active or passive.
Yeah, that's where my confusion comes in. I thought you were describing his active defenses.
No, passive defense, 18. Parry.
That's because dodge and parry are passive defenses.
Unless they're active.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, but those are dodge and parry checks.
True.
There's a difference.
So you can probably feint him still if you want to, or just beat him on the head. You are the most accurate person here.
Well,
by a long margin.
If you allow me to take it back then, because of the confusion, I'll just go do something
yeah.
else.
Do something else.
Go for the tail. Does he have a tail?
He does have a tail.
I had no idea if you were going with it. I don't know, he could have not had a tail.
It's a fairly big tail.
Watch out for tail sweep.
Alright, let's go for this then. We're going to go for an affliction. All out and all of that. Roll kind of poorly, but
You still hit. As you should know.
Yeah, okay. So that should have a multi-attack should completely apply on the +5. This is resisted by parry.
Okay. What is the DC?
Wait, god damn it. Afflictions...
+10.
+10, so 16.
He does
Plus-
not care.
Well, sorry. Then plus multi-attack. So it's 21.
He still doesn't care.
Okay.
He rolled
He
19.
rolled really. Yeah, okay. He just like,
God damn it.
I know Kung Fu. SWAT.
So he slashed his legs, but he has a lot of scales there. Doesn't seem to do very much.
And a hop back to at least get between him and the medic.
Tar Pit will be attempting to get out of his box. How much can he lift?
Did you just run up a 5-story building, hit a guy in the noggin, fail to do any real damage, shrug and leap off it, and just be fine? God, that's cool.
Backflip off Kusanagi style. Flip him
Land.
bird on your way down.
Couldn't get me, asshole.
Okay, Tar Pit cannot lift both the box and the Duke.
Welcome to Boxland.
He will attempt to break it, however.
Okay.
Then I'd step on him, it'd be really funny.
So whatever you determined the natural toughness of Ralph of the Duke's material to be, +3 for the thickness.
That'll be a 23 then. We'll go with base 20, since that is what the Duke has in general as well.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense to me.
So please roll me that toughness check.
Sure. Most I've rolled yet. Thank goodness it got the it had the extra 3. Oh dear, you said the challenge was 32 last time, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. What happens with 1 degree of failure in damaging an object?
It gets bruised like everything else and is weakened, basically. I am an object, I have to know this.
No, absolutely nothing happens with 1 degree of failure.
Yeah, it's even better.
He needs 2 degrees of failure for a break, and 3 or more means the object is destroyed.
Alright, I have more moving parts, that's why I take bruises. Alright. That's just a box.
So Tar Pit slams particularly hard inside that box, and the Duke can actually feel it shake, but he's still in there. Omega! Yay!
He's in that box, you don't need 2 boxes, you can take the shield down.
I don't have anything else to do with my turn anyway.
You could laser him, can't you?
Not without hitting everyone else.
Can't laser Gator with your nuclear whatever, what's it?
I suppose I could try to. Okay, remove the bubble.
Bubble goes goodbye.
Along with all the other drawings, no?
Yeah.
Well, all the others
We
on
do
the
a lot of
token
drawing.
Layer. Gator is 150 feet from you.
If she has a ranged attack, it shouldn't be a problem. It just counts as a lengthy ranged attack versus a not lengthy one. Ranged attacks are weird. There's no set how far you can shoot. Just you gotta kind of eyeball it.
Have you ever fired a bullet from a gun and seen it stop dead at the 200-yard mark?
I have not.
Well, I need to take you to the range down near this place then. Be amazed what you can do with enough suspension of disbelief.
So,
You do.
firing an energy blast.
I'm just checking what range increment he's at for me. I'm going to get him with a strong nuclear blast. He's 150 feet from me. Short range for me is 175 feet with that attack. So he's within normal range for me. So yeah, that's so yeah, rank 7, dodge to avoid the initial dodge to half the initial area effect, then Fortitude Beast for the damage.
Okie dokie. Well, you definitely hit him, and he stumbles backwards a bit, but aside from some now scorch marks on his skin, he's still standing.
I have arrived to save the day. Gets shot, stabbed, and lasered.
Okay, that's my turn.
Well, he is still standing so far.
Good for him, but
Alan.
that's not and now he'll get detonated with an explosion. That's a greeting.
He's way out of my reach.
Could just collapse the building. Just, a couple detonations in the right spot.
Oh, yeah, because we haven't done enough property damage already.
Listen, when you're at the point where you've done this much damage, more really doesn't change anything.
Really, you're just doing him a favor. Knock the whole block down, you can just rebuild it.
Yeah, fuck it at this point. Spending so much
Well,
money,
if
you
you're
might as well
doing that,
rebuild
you
it.
might as well go for the gas station.
I saw that, and I really hope we get over there, but no gigantic explosion this time. I was a little bit tempted to throw the tanker, sorry, not the tanker, the back end, the trailer of the truck, the car, and Gator at the gas station, but I didn't want to cause, instant death to everything.
Yeah, I've done safety training on what happens when there's a Blevy. It's a bad, bad thing. No one
I've seen
makes it out
videos of
on-
those.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Measure. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Alright. Rolling my athletics to jog for a moment. That's fine.
Yep, you're good.
I'm going to nip around the burning vehicle over to here. And
There is no vehicle.
there's
It was vaporized, remember?
Oh, alright. The burning wreckage on the ground that where once a vehicle stood.
Yes.
And I'm going to put up a bubble around around as many people as I can, which in this case means me, the medic, and Epiphany here.
Said medic startles a bit, then looks at you, recognizes you, and goes back to trying to stop some of the bleeding from Epiphany Jones. They seem to be succeeding fairly well.
Alrighty.
Damn it, Xiaomi, you missed out on a point when you slashed her to say, and then the bitch drowns in her own blood, or something else very pithy. Just be pithy about it.
Ralph, are you sure we're saving this city, or are you just looking for excuses?
What? You're supposed to do quips when you hit people. That's how this works. How long you been a hero?
About 3 weeks.
Well, then you need to get used to making pithy remarks.
So, Gator, having now actually arrived on the scene and given a chance to look around, notices Epiphany Jones trapped in a bubble, a big box that has lots of banging coming from it, and everyone else is gone.
The Duke is sort of half standing on the box.
Gator is going to start running.
Gator is not going to escape.
Amazed he even came back in the first place.
he's going to start running to the south. And because he is dazed, that's all he can do right now. But he's no longer dazed. Epiphany Jones is unconscious, at least for your initiative. Duke!
Okay, just probably going to do the same thing, but I don't think I count as aiming anymore. No, you have to do it each time. Alright then, so this...
You hit.
Does that succeed
you get a
by...
+5.
Yep. So that makes the 27 again.
Okay.
It's a kind of funky line of sight you're on right now, or is this a rocket fusillade that just goes right through the wall and roof?
It's basically a very large supply of big gun. You see that big, I don't know if I have the full picture, I don't. Well, if you had the full picture of the Duke, which I'll give you, underneath each arm is a different kind of weapon. One is a flamethrower, one is a massive gun. So
you're shooting through the building?
If I need to.
You kind of do.
Well, then he gets some cover. At least I think, hold on, I double check it. No, okay, yeah, he gets cover because my precise attack only counts for my fists right now, as it is. So he does get a cover bonus to his toughness check.
No, it's a penalty to your attack check.
Okay, well, I have a 32.
In this case, I would say that he does have total cover, being 6 stories up and not at the edge of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
So you go down to a 27, which still gets you a +5 and you hit.
Moving on.
So, yeah.
Damn it, Ralph, that's an apartment building. Think of
I evacuated hours ago.
So you hear a cry of pain, and, well, his footsteps are looking very bloody now, and there's holes in his legs. Chiome.
First don't succeed. Hop, skip, and a jump.
Is this a normal attack or an affliction?
An affliction. I'm going to try to basically go for his tendons. Slow his movement.
Right. You do get the +5. And it's a parry resistance, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the DC now?
And the extra
21.
5. Yeah.
And the extra.
Even with the +5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Afflictions and other such things are kind of low in the DC range.
Right. What are your applied conditions for failure?
First degree, hindered. Second, immobilized. Third, paralyzed.
So you slash at his legs, and this time you manage to get through, where he stumbles a bit and falls to one knee, and he's in a lot of pain. Where is it?
Well, it might be time for him to give up now.
There. He is now immobilized.
And I'll just go ahead and step back a little bit.
Tar pit. Please roll me a toughness check for the box.
Box victory.
Yeah. Lots of banging, no real result. Omega.
We can ask him to surrender now if we want.
We've
Gator,
been
that
doing
is.
that.
Yeah, well, why stop? We're winning.
Let me know if you get any smart ideas about how to choke him out.
Well, I can't extend a arm over there, so it's kind of...
Tee-hee-hee-hee. Tee-hee-hee-hee-hee.
See, that worries me.
It probably should.
Don't be launching anything near the Duke right now. We need to keep Mr. This guy in a box.
Oh, boy.
What are you doing?
I realize now. I should never have mentioned the gas station.
You didn't have to. Right there.
That is a force wall, 5 feet thick, 600 feet tall, starting from the ground.
Lovely.
It's a big fucking wall.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Well, on the plus side, that won't cause any detonations at the gas station. You did break a lot of roofs.
It goes to, it's selective. It goes through buildings.
Ah, lucky. Alright, cool.
So yeah, it stops people. It stops people and vehicles from moving, but leaves the buildings perfectly fine.
Okay then. Well, nobody's going anywhere for a bit. Alan, you're in your own box.
What's Epiphany wearing?
As a picture, minus
Black
hat.
dress.
You're a perv.
No.
Plus lots of slashes.
Yeah.
Black kind of frilly Victorian-era dress.
Minus a hat.
It does have some added goth aesthetics.
Alright.
Check her for a wallet.
Well, I'm trying
Yeah,
to think
mug her.
No. I'm trying to think of what I can do that won't injure her, but will let us keep control of her when she comes conscious again.
Rub her with your foam stuff and make chains.
Does the UNATCO agent here? Does he have zip ties or cuffs or anything?
He does have some handcuffs, yes.
And then the handcuffs snap off. That's not going to stop her.
Well, if she has to spend some time working on that, you can then just hit her.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Alright, probably won't finish within the span of this turn, but I would like to get handcuffs on her as soon as we can do so without exacerbating her wounds. And tear off some loose fabric off my jacket if I have to make a blindfold for her. And as soon as we know that she doesn't have anything wrong with her lungs, that she's breathing fine, also a gag. Just in case her powers are voice-based. She needs to speak them out loud.
That will take some time, yes, but the agent's agent will assist you in doing so, and has no problems with using his handcuffs.
Sounds good.
For now, you have handcuffed her.
Carry on.
So Gator, kneeling on the rooftop, unable to feel his feet anymore, will finally hold his hands up in surrender, yelling and / hissing, "Please don't kill me!"
Duke lowers his gun. It's Yomi, escort him off the roof now. If he gets troublesome, just say the word.
And with that, we are no longer in initiative, but Tar Pit will continue to periodically try and break the box.
Hey.
I'll leave it up for now, but you are free to move.
I'm good where I am. At this point, I'll put my hands on the box and present the option of putting my strength against his if he wants to lift the box or break it or whatever.
How much does Gator weigh?
Gator?
Is he above Mass Rank 1, I guess?
No, he weighs about as much as a normal person. Well, a particularly heavy guy.
He'd weigh more, but not enough for a Mass Rank difference.
She can carry him.
You can carry him.
Yeah, that's all that really matters. Because I don't think I'm walking him down the stairs with what I did to his legs.
Nope.
He'll just pick him up over his shoulder, leap down.
He will scowl and hiss at you while doing so, but otherwise does not stop you.
You are entitled to medical aid only so long as you don't struggle.
Pretty much. I could always just drop him midair.
Say hi to the pavement.
He's had to do that once already.
Alright, then basically just hopping down and bringing him over to the others.
For medical aid.
He's fine.
And handcuffs. As much difference is that going to make?
More like eyes watching.
Sudoku's all. So, what we gonna do about the box? It has no bottom, so I can't just pick it up.
Yeah, we're gonna reinforce
On that cue,
bit.
you hear thumping, but it ceases after a moment.
Y'all better surrender in there, because sooner or later, something's gonna happen to where you get hurt.
You hear burbling.
2 burbles for no, 1 burble for yes. Do you surrender?
You hear a constant stream of burbling.
Alright, well, I give up. If he's intelligent, he ain't showing it.
The
Guess we wait for
fire
the
over here will begin to die out.
Guess we
We're
either wait
not
for the
in 3-second combat rounds.
Oh, yeah, Alan, can you transmute the dirt, like the ground underneath this box into more part of the box, and I can just lift that part out? I mean, if it has a lid, I'll accept that.
Yes, actually.
I'll just hold the lid shut.
Excuse me while I cover up this car.
Like, y'all could just make a sheet, and I just make a lid, you know?
Omega! Any chance of tracking down the, 3-headed woman?
Oh, Omega has the briefcase, so...
Yes, Omega does have the briefcase. And on cue, the Aegis agents, aside from the medic, finally pour out of the building.
Yeah, I have absolutely no way to track her down.
Right. Drop the barrier, come on down, and let's get you looked at. You look like you're a bit shaken up.
Okay, I dropped the barrier, then I'm going to teleport down.
You want me to remove it, or...?
Yeah.
I did not quite catch that.
Yeah, you can remove it.
Okie dokie. Well, there you go then. However, on the moment of that wall disappearing, Gator legs it. You notice that his legs are healed.
Uh-huh.
Duke just shoots, well, off he goes.
Yeah,
Okay.
he is legging it.
Well, he's gonna get
How
caught.
fast can he move?
So,
You can outrun him. That is a certainty, yes.
I can outdrive him, so I don't know what he was trying to accomplish there.
Duke, don't you dare move.
I know.
It only
just-
takes a moment, though, for you to get in front of him where he holds up his hands again and says, "Alright, okay, for real this time, please don't hit me."
Poof him on the nose anyway. Don't hurt him, just on the nose. Bad Gator.
How much raw material have I got left?
I don't need raw material, just turn the pavement into it. It can just be like a
I'm not
rough
talking
square.
about the box.
Probably something to keep Gator from running again.
Oh, no, I can do that.
No.
All you gotta do is give me put this guy in a box, and I will give you something.
I will escort him
Gator.
back at sword point.
I'll just
Gator
pick
will
up.
be escorted back.
Hey,
Trust me, just give me a box for this guy, and I'll just take multiple lampposts and make myself a cage of lampposts for Gator.
I've got this, Ralph.
All right. Just hold on to the tar monster.
I shall use my, I'm trying to find out, do I have 5 or 3 of these? 5 uses, okay, so I've still got, 1, 2... Alright, using 1 more, still have 2 left. Alright, going to use some raw material. pack it around, get Gator to hold his wrists together, pack it around his wrists, and then pack some around each of his feet, and give him a hometown special. Concrete blocks.
Lovely.
Now don't make me add a muzzle as well. Then I'll go see to Tar Pit's box.
Gator just kind of hisses and sits there with his new shoe accessories.
Starting to think we should name ourselves the Canaries.
There's lots of burbling from inside Tar Pit's box.
Yes.
I think he's trying to swear at us. I can't determine.
Then a few thumps. Then more burbling.
Because of my upper mass limit, this will probably take the equivalent of 3 rounds to do, depending on
You
the
have time.
density of this concrete. But I'm going to fuse the concrete directly around directly around where the box is with the box. But I won't have any way to separate it, so Ralph's just going to have to break the concrete around the metallized concrete and lift up the whole bit.
No problem there.
Yeah, Ralph should not have a problem with that.
Mind you, it is going to require a forklift. Ralph, what's your strength? What's the Duke's strength?
13.
Okay, you can lift it, you can't carry it. Because this thing is now going to weigh 37 tons.
You do realize I can lift 225, right?
Lift is different from carry.
How so?
Lift and walk around while carrying.
Okay, well, my maximum is, let's see, 13.
13.
200
and,
tons.
Yes. 13. Walking
So this
around,
thing-
walking around without falling over or putting all of your focus into carrying it, you max out at your strength -3, which is 10, not the 11 this box now represents.
-3, my strength is 25 tons. 13 minus 3 is 10, and at 10 strength, that's 25 tons. How much is this weigh again?
It was 25 before I added another wall to the bottom.
That would be why. So I'm not able to wander around with this, just carry. I can lift it, but I can't carry it around. Alright. Fair enough.
So we need to call for the paddy wagon.
Well, we're going to have to get off the paddy wagon either way. The goal is to get him into a box, and like carry him around like a trophy.
How does it work with you turn to a truck? And put it on the...
Actually, yes, as a truck, I could technically put him on the hook part and drag him around, yes. Just,
Without any wheels under it, the city would love that. Let's
Yeah,
try to
that's
focus our
right.
destruction to the stationary parts of the city, not the roads. Is everybody okay? That was a lot of chaos.
I'm alright. I think we've all had worse bruises.
Omega is injured, though she's not speaking up.
Yes, I am injured. Ow.
Yeah,
Look at the way in which I am injured.
Alright, as soon as Omega pours out that bottle of sarcasm, let the medic take a look at you while we're waiting for backup to show up. Where is that helicopter, anyways?
Right over there in a point, and at that point, though, I think you've done the, what's it, lidding, I guess we'd call it? You put the lid on the box, and I pull the box out of the ground.
You can do that, yes.
Yeah, so now there is a metallized concrete lid of sorts over on a very metally box. This is the weirdest can of goods I've ever had to deal with. And I've dealt with some weird canned goods.
The Aegis agents come over to stand by said box, and one of them goes over to Gator. But the medic, currently tending to Miss Jones, We'll look up to where Omega called from the rooftops before and ask, do you have the briefcase?
Yes, I do.
Please return it to us.
What y'all do with the briefcase, and why this lot want it? Beyond being assholes.
Ellen's going to interpose. Certainly, lads, we will relinquish it to your control just as soon as we've taken care of the necessary paperwork back at the tower.
I'm afraid you have to be turning that over to us immediately, sir, for matters of national security.
So this was a national security issue, and they sent you guys to guard it. No offense now to your jobs, but were you expecting to be attacked?
No, sir, and a heavy security detail would have brought more attention than we needed.
Fair enough. So you either have a rat, telling you out about this, or this lot knew you were coming, or you just...
We are very aware of that.
You may consider us your heavy security detail, and we shall get you and your briefcase somewhere that it doesn't draw more attention.
Yep. So you're all gonna have to call a wagon to carry you. I can only fit one passenger in this thing.
The Aegis agents kind of look at each other and decide to wait until their backup arrives. Which it does fairly soon. Mostly in the form of a helicopter overhead. And some very high-tech stuff as Aegis agents kind of materialize on the ground. Whether it's short-range teleporters or something else, it's definitely different than what you've seen from Aegis so far.
I'm gonna roll technology on that. In case it is.
Roll technology.
Alrighty.
We rolled fairly well. Yeah, it's a basic short-range teleport. It's built into their armor, most presumably because of a different flash of light for each of them, and the only thing that's really in range is that new helicopter.
Short-range teleporters. Those screw it, I'll make up something.
Go right ahead.
Ironsmith's models? I'm assuming Ironsmith is just some superhero, probably shared his short-range technology with them.
The agents stare blankly at you, then turn to each other, and one of them shrugs. The others kind of look at him and shake their heads.
Duke shakes his head.
Ralph, that, from the chromatic distortion, that looks a little more like the Terraport Mark III to me.
If it was a Terraport Mark III, I don't know if they'd trust that. It only handles organics well. It doesn't do so good with, mechanics. Their guns might be jammed in that case. You think they'd... Maybe 3.5?
You see one of the agents very surreptitiously check his weaponry.
I mean, if it's 3.5, they wouldn't encounter the issue as much, but then they run the danger of, summoning daemons every now and then, so... At least in large packs. When there's lots of them teleporting. It'd be fine if they just did small strat groups, though.
While you two are conversing on the matters of short-range teleporter technology, they move forward as a group.
Because we're smart people and we're going to do that.
Look, boys, we're not even leaving this intersection until our paddy wagon gets here. So sit tight and let's all wait for the higher-ups to deal with this situation the way it needs to be. Ralph, please tell me you've been on the horn.
Whole time.
Thank you.
One of the Aegis agents coughs. The Emerald City Police Department has given authority to our jurisdiction in this matter.
Sorry, we supersede their authority on the matter, so apologies, but you're sticking here until we can at least get something to move that guy. And then I point at the rough box that Tarpet is in. Because I can lift it, but I can't be moving with it unless I drag it through town, and I ain't doing that. Because, damage is bad enough as it is.
One of the agents goes over to converse with the two who are already examining said box. He does spare a glance for the dead Aegis agent on the ground, but either doesn't care or is hiding his emotions over the fact very well. There's a few moments of quiet conversing between them, which Alan could eavesdrop on if he so chose.
Yeah, let's see here.
He's totally gonna.
Yeah, they're mostly just discussing the capabilities of Tar Pit from all the Aegis agents have seen, and this is a very sturdy box. And it's very heavy. Completely innocuous, really.
The best jail that improvised "oh shit, what do I do now" battle tactics can provide. As Ellen tries to wipe some badly burned tar that's still stuck to his sleeve off.
Alan, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but invest in some extra suits.
Well,
it's like a whole lot of them.
Well, this isn't my nice suit. It's my combat armor, but nevertheless, yes.
You get my point.
Aegis Agent number 3 over here. You hear some beeping coming from him, and he steps off to the side to apparently take an urgent call.
I'll intercept that.
Okay.
I have a little device to do just that with. I built one, and it'll work. We brought it in case there's more chest spin, but hey, it'll work for this too.
Indeed you did.
I also have one question on the side.
Yes.
I've got accurate hearing. How well does that, you think, change how far you can hear? I'm not really sure how well it works.
If Chiyomi wants to actively eavesdrop on anything, she can kind of do it from anywhere, as long as she knows somebody's talking.
Well then.
So you could eavesdrop in his conversation as well. I'm directly intercepting it, so I get both ends clearly.
Yeah,
so
she will be doing that regardless.
So you need to roll a perception, I don't, because I have both ends open to me. If it's encrypted, then I'll roll technology, but I don't think it's encrypted.
Not the best roll, but good enough for this purpose. So Chiyomi only gets Aegis 3's end of the conversation, because it is an earpiece he's talking through. But the Duke does get both. But both of you can easily get the gist of it, that Aegis agents are kind of securing the area for a couple blocks around this place, and they've managed to pick up somebody. Somebody who they found digging in the ground.
I found Mr. Leg Broke.
Yes, they found the person.
Oh, carry on.
Yes, they found Mr. Captain Oblivion, as he so very much reminds them. And they currently have him in power dampers, and Aegis Agent number 3 here is being told to alert you folks so as to, well, get you happier. In not so many words.
Well, at least they caught him.
With that said, his conversation is done, and he steps over to speak to the Duke.
Oh, well, I guess that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Roll a 1 on your insight roll.
What do you need insight for? Oh, right. Oh, that's why it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
As far as you can tell, they are completely on the up and up.
Yeah, buttering us up would make me suspicious.
Not
You've
me,
caught
I'm
one of
used
the
to it.
stormers involved, calling himself Captain Oblivion.
Y'all sure he's a stormer?
He claims to be.
Fair enough. Alright, good on you, catching him. We'd like him brought here, but if you lot have some secure facility, you're welcome to him.
He'll be put in a transitional facility before being moved to...
Y'all mean you're going to ask him questions he's not going to answer? Alright.
Among other things. As you look around, you can notice the Aegis agents are placing very different handcuffs on Epiphany Jones and Gator. Whereas the handcuffs got off the Aegis medic were typical things, what you'd expect to find in any standard police station. These are... well, they glow.
I already know they're power dampeners because I overheard him saying stuff about power dampers, so it's an easy guess, but I will roll technology anyway.
They're power dampeners, you don't even need to roll for that, it's fairly common knowledge.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Y'all might watch out for Epiphany Jones. She's slipperier than she looks.
Aegis Agent number 1 will glance back at you and just say, noted.
Don't think she's moving too well for a while anyway.
True enough, but we've seen her do some clever stuff that has nothing to do with her power.
No need to
Finally,
heckle Ralph. I'm sure now that these guys aren't caught with their pants down, they're quite proficient at what they do. You should treat them like professionals.
I am. That's why I gave advice instead of ordering.
Finally, after some further discussion between the Aegis agents around Tar Pit's box, they stick some devices on the side of it that glow in the same method as the handcuffs do. You hear the burbling from within stop.
Alright.
Do we hear anything from it now? Even light
Not at
sloshing?
the moment. Nope.
Hey, Omega.
Yep.
Don't suppose you got any X-ray vision or something, do you?
I have about 1 million types of vision.
But do you have X-ray? And can the X-ray see through the Duke's metal? I'm assuming that Ralph did not build any inherent anti-X-ray.
I apparently do not have X-ray. I have dark vision, infravision, ultravision, and radio vision.
All right.
In that case, I'm going to put a hand on the box and Matterken in to see is Tar Pit still in there? Job 1.
There's a lot of tar in the box.
Is it moving?
No.
Is it still structured in a semi-organic way like it was when he was not in it? Like when I canned him way back when we first showed up on the scene, I was trying to figure out if he was actual tar, thus flammable.
He is still structurally exactly the same as he was before, but you can tell that it's basically a puddle at the moment.
I think that might have actually put him most of the way inert.
We've had to deal with his type before, sir. They can be irritating.
Yeah, I believe that.
Unfortunately, the short-range teleporters won't work with something so heavy. That said, you notice this entire group of people over here.
Over where?
You'll see it in just a moment. Vanish.
Gotcha.
In poofs of light.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Paperwork, damn it.
Paperwork is on our end, sir.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. All right. Ralph, you say you've got a hook?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I could theoretically transform, get this guy hauled around, but unless you got wheels or something to put him on, he's going to be dragging holes everywhere.
We have one of our vehicles on the way with more heavy-duty teleporter transmission.
Perfect.
And do it.
I want this guy transported to a local holding facility.
Of course. Now,
In the same box, preferably, because I don't know if you get much better than that.
our briefcase.
I'll go get it. Fine. I'll make a hand it here if you would for a minute. I'm the technology guy. I can tell you guys what it is just by holding the damn thing.
No. You can tell us what the box is. I don't care what the box is.
They're not going to tell us what's inside, and I'm assuming we're taking this over chat, like a comm, so they're not overhearing any of this. So I repeat over comm, they're not going to tell us what's in the box. I don't care how, buttery you are, and it ain't going to happen.
That just makes me want to know what's in the box more.
Well, I can crack it open if you really want, but there's probably a reason it's in a box.
Here, how about I try this with a charm assault? Well, gentlemen, yes, I'm perfectly happy to relinquish custody of it over to you. I mean, it was your transport that was ambushed. We just need to make sure that, well, as we didn't get any heads up about it.
You're not on transporting radioactive materials or some that may or may not explode, right?
So we didn't get much heads up about it. I just want to make sure there ain't anything passing under our noses, so to speak. So, if someone would just care to fill me in, or maybe just come on back to the base and have a nice chat about it if you don't want to talk about it in the streets, we'll be happy to hand it over.
It's an Nat 20, that's not half bad.
Aegis Agent Number 3, as the apparent designated speaker for the moment, has a blank stare for Alan for a moment.
You could hold it just a second, just need to see my wife out the door.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, back.
Yes, so Agent Number 3 just kind of stares at Alan. We at Aegis very much appreciate your help in recovering the briefcase and fighting off these stormers. And while we are very willing to help you with the aftermath, he notably glances at the destroyed building and remnants of vehicles.
Two of which are missing.
Yes.
They're so destroyed, their remains are 3 blocks that way. No.
Spread through about a block.
Both the contents of that briefcase and the existence of said briefcase continue to be a matter of national security. I cannot disclose any information on them to you.
Alrighty.
Even with a nat 20, you're not getting them.
Just keep in mind that your regional office should probably keep in better touch with the local forces such as ourselves. If we knew more about this, we could, be prepared and not have to drop in after lives have already been lost.
Understood.
Omega, would you be a dear and bring him his briefcase?
I notice Skullhat has been dropped from the server.
I'm back. Sorry, it was lagging something fierce.
Yeah, I bring him his briefcase.
Just getting the staggered condition off of you, because you are not.
Cover 1 condition per minute.
When the Aegis agent receives the briefcase, he nods and looks between Alan, Chiome, and the Duke, and Omega, assuming she actually remains to be looked at. Aegis, again, thanks you for your assistance.
Anytime, just, want to share in the area first. I know you need your secrets in the whatnot. If you don't keep us informed, we can't respond.
I will be sure to say as much to my superiors. And with that, he vanishes.
So they apparently trust our teleporters enough to be using highly classified, highly sensitive materials with, so it's not going to be a 3. It's got to be a 4.0 at the very least. And we start chattering about that some more, I imagine.
Nah, I don't know how to tell a 3 from a 4. I just wanted to get them a little nervous about it. Gentlemen?
One of the Aegis agents looks at you.
You are a dick, aren't you? And Duke turns into a car, and, well...
These two poof away with their dead comrades. And this lone agent remains, waiting for the van to arrive.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to get too far from that thing in case I need to reinforce it or something.
He's a pile of goo that can't move in a box he couldn't escape on his best, go at it like 4 times. He's stuck.
I'm a lot more of a gambling man than you are, Ralph, and past performance is no indicator of future results.
Alright, makes you feel better.
I don't have a van token.
We can presume you have, it just rolls up and takes them away. I mean, unless that weird happens.
Alright. A van does indeed roll up after a few minutes. It does not load up with the box, but a few more agents climb out of it and assemble some machinery around Tar Pit's little trap that starts humming quickly.
3 small tripod devices with a glowing gem at the top.
No, more like to imagine square brackets.
Mm-hmm.
After a few seconds of humming, Tar Pit goes poof.
And I'm sure he'll never be a problem ever again.
Of course.
These keep hands and legs completely within the destroyer field at all times.
The last Aegis agent, after the remaining ones load back into the truck and drive off, nods to all of you and then poofs out himself.
Duke looks down and says, unless you want to do something here, and you better do it quick, we need to go, because Aegis cleans up fast, and that means the police are rolling in, the crowds are rolling in, the newscasters are rolling in, so unless you have something to do, get in me, and let's get.
Never say that again. Make
All
a
right.
passenger seat for me to ride in, and I will sit in that.
Well, that's what I don't know what you think I meant, but that's what I meant.
You can hear the helicopter overhead leaving.
That's one for the tabloids.
I'm sure it is. He turns into his truck form, and in you get. We drive back to base. Well, I drive and Alan drives. Everyone else, teleports or runs.
Yes, I assume Omega's is going to teleport either home or to the tower, or back to work, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm gonna teleport back to work.
Back to work and maybe grade those papers.
She leads a very strange double life.
And Chiome will have some time to realize now that she woke up far too early for this ship. Since the adrenaline rush is worn off now. Back to the tower!
That makes
why I
me
don't go
realize,
party.
Chris, both of your characters had horrible sleeps last night. One of them can't even cast her spells, and this one woke up with a hangover to the sound of an alarm klaxon.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
Bad nights in 2 universes. Ugh.
But the night before was great for her.
Duke makes it very clear he's actually not too okay with you bringing over friends for the night, so, none of that. This place is already a fucking, shiv of poor intelligence keeping, so I'd like to not have more holes than needed.
You're assuming they're friends.
You know what I meant. I know you barely got their name out before you invited them over, but come on.
So, you've arrived back at Emerald Tower. The now fully functional Emerald Tower. There is nothing left of note to be worked on besides some Mars Tech offices that will be moved into the floors below it.
And a minor security issue.
Yes. So, do you have plans?
I'd like to know what was in the box, but there's no way I'm able to hack that well. That, it sends the wrong kind of message. I don't want to be hacking their stuff. Launches Duke out of a cannon. Well, that could have gone worse. It could have gone better. We caught almost all of them except the weird triple person one. I've never seen them before. Must be Stormers then. Or at least out-of-towners.
Yes, you hadn't heard about any of them before, that's definitely for sure.
They weren't screaming any team logos or team names, so a whole lot of them must be recently coming to their powers, looking for mercenary work. It's a real common thing with folk who recently gain a thing. If it's not revenge, it's mercenary work. Or vigilantism. They pick one and run with it.
We didn't give them a lot of time to talk anyway.
True, no. Well, I did, but then they all opened fire on me, so, you know.
Alan is going to, once he has a shower...
I'll get some coffee going.
Gets into a comfort suit, by which I mean a full business suit, not a combat record.
By then I brewed up coffee for everyone, because unlike everyone else, I don't get sweaty inside my thing.
And I'm going to make myself carry myself about the business of due diligence of what Alan deems his new position to be. I'm going to write up a report on what happened there with everything I can, all the details.
You're going to want to forward that report of the damages to the local, what would you call them, response, superhero or super being response force. Just forward them the damages and they'll work out the bill.
That's an excellent idea. Ralph, why don't you work up a brief survey of the damage to the surrounding buildings and forward that to Aegis and the...
Aren't you already going to put that in your report? Why make two reports?
Well, I'm focusing on who we encountered, what their apparent powers had to be, which reminds me, note to self, send Omega an email, ask her to do the same for the glowing purple bint that she was fighting.
Plus, you're already way more familiar with the destruction, Ralph.
Real funny.
You got a real good look at those walls right before you went through them. I'm sure you know just how intact they are now.
You can balance a coffee mug on the roof still. Speaking of coffee, who wants some? I made a fresh pot. Chill, you look like you could need a cup. Fine, I'll write up the damages paper. I'm used to it anyway, I got a whole system. But I am going to point out that they're going to want to talk to us, like the news, and we got to respond. We can't just be hush-hush, nothing happened, ignore it. It's our city. If we're defending it, we got to tell them what happened. The question is, what are we going to tell them? Because, unfortunately, all we know is Aegis was passing through and doesn't want to tell anyone what's in the box. And if we tell them Aegis was here with a box they won't tell us about, then you know where that goes quick, like.
Say, Ralph, in all of your work, have you ever had to hire a publicist?
Not once, no, why?
Go shopping for one. We need one.
I ain't good enough, or you just worried about something?
No, sometimes you're in the middle of combat and can't give a statement to the press.
Fair enough, but I'll go get one. I get what you're saying, but on the other hand, they're going to be asking us now. What do we say now? Because the more we delay, the more the rumor mill is going to start pumping things.
Yes, if any of you do stop by the communications room in Emerald Tower, you will note there are messages coming in from various news agencies.
I'm aware. I'm used to this, and I'm asking my team what I should tell them.
They were bad people. We stopped them.
We can only use their excuse so many times.
Oh,
We
come
really
on,
can.
Ralph. This stuff almost writes itself. Unidentified stormers spotted near Royal Hill, assaulting an armored vehicle. They were chased off by the storm shields, with assistance from a local branch of Aegis. Let's see here. Punchline. Add a little joke at the beginning of it, like we came down on them like a ton of bricks, and that's a wrap.
That's what the most headlines will run. The question is how much you leave unsaid and how much you confirm. It's more complicated than you're making it out to be, because what you don't say is almost as important as what you do. For instance, I had this one instance where all I told the press was I had to go through the wall to get a guy, or something to that degree. And they started making this whole rumor that I only went through the wall because the wall happened to be a power source, the entire building would shut it off, and some stuff went missing while power was out. You see where it happens?
And I trust in your expertise.
Oh boy.
Excuse me, I'm trying to figure out what to write down about.
I'm only asking y'all because I want to know whether or not you care to leave something out. That's all.
If it was up to me, I'd pretty much leave it all out.
Then they'd get even worse about it. Secrecy ain't about not telling them things. It's telling them things that distract them from the other things.
It's not so much being secret as this is just a waste of time.
Kinda, but the folk have a right to know. We just destroyed, 3 buildings?
Alan takes his notepad back to his room and lets them argue it out.
Ralph will be the one responding, though, to the news folk, and he will schedule, if they want to schedule, a day, unless they're already all outside with pickets, he'll,
they're not outside with picket.
Good. He will make an official statement if they want today, or a different day, or whatever they want.
They are requesting one.
Yeah, and do they want it today is the question.
To news agencies.
Yeah, they want it today. The thing is, I present it in their court, because if I just say, I want to wait a day, they think I might have something to hide. If I say, whenever you're ready, then it's completely open about it. It's fucking politics is what it is.
The messages they have sent are very heavy on the, give a statement whenever you like, but give it now, we might be nice about it.
I'll give it now. Do they want me anywhere particular, or they want to do it just outside the base? In the plaza space?
They don't necessarily want a visual of you, though they wouldn't say no.
Okay, well, then the statement would just be a written one stating pretty much exactly what Alan had said, pretty much word for word. That's the full statement. That's what happened, that's why we were there. There you go.
Mm-hmm. But I have a question for all of you now, but it's out of character. Because of the nature of Mutants and Masterminds, and this adventure in particular, there's a lot of combat.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of the combat is going to be very storyline relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Would you prefer it if I spaced some of this out a bit with, the equivalent of random encounters?
Fine either way.
Typically, that would be the way you do it regardless, because normally you'd have to wait a few months between issues being released for stuff like this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine if we do other things that make us feel more like we're invested in the city. So, on that note, there might be less city. We caused kind of a lot of damages in a really short amount of time.
Always that.
So by the time another thing happens, there might not be a West Valley anymore or something. Just a lot of broken things.
I don't necessarily mind playing the whole superhero experience rather than just the combat superhero experience.
And there's other stuff we need to do.
Oh, yeah.
Or have happen.
I mean, that's why, the whole dual identities or not having one really comes into play more.
Mm-hmm.
There's also challenges that come up, but so far you've only actually had one of those, and you didn't even accomplish it, because you didn't know it existed.
Yep.
That was in disabling the training room instead of fighting it.
Yes.
Which, again, was not something you could easily predict.
Yeah, we just assumed if we could just do that, Duke would just press a button and there you go. Beep, okay, it's off.
Hey, look, a trading room. Duke, fire us up an EMP, will you? Hey, look,
Because we don't want to actually train, we just want to be assholes.
Yeah. I'm never in favor of random as being random. Simply because you can always find... It is better to integrate things in some way. I never have you guys... Hey, you're wandering through the caves, and you're suddenly jumped by a bunch of oozes. Roll initiative. It's... You're wandering through caves where oozes live. You're going to run into oozes.
Right, yeah.
So, random encounter by the traditional meaning of the words, I'm never in favor of, but
right.
Not every fight needs to have obvious or direct storytelling relevance, so long as it's not a distraction, not a distraction, so long as it's not a complete segue that leads into nothing and accomplishes nothing.
You've not read enough comic books, then, to realize that's sort of what happens sometimes.
I've read plenty of excellent comic books.
Not enough crap ones, then.
Yes.
Probably a good thing.
Well, yeah, but still.
I mean, I know that these horrible DC... Well, we need to make our budget for character appearances, so let's just roll 20 times on this table of people that... people like to see, and have all of them appear. It's okay if he only has a one-panel cameo. He's firing his laser eyes off panel. Doesn't matter what he's hitting. That kind of bullshit's horrible.
Yes, it is, but it happens.
So, while Ralph addresses the press, the rest of you have some options. For example, I'm assuming Alan will be doing so as soon as he's finished the actual write-up of his report. Will anyone be actively talking to Mars?
If he happens to show his face by the tower in the next day or two. I mean, I'm treating him as the financier, not the boss.
That is
well, in that case, he should be roaring up, going, "My God, you destroyed half the town!"
Then if he shows up, I shall talk to him.
You threw a truck 300 feet and it hit a building, which hit another building.
Actually, that was Ralph.
I counted as a whole problem.
You're the only man in the room who can turn his arms into solid concrete.
Surprise, I place the blame for that on Ralph, too. No.
So you're not going to seek Mars out?
No.
Okay.
Not as follow-up to this skirmish, no.
Well, he might know something.
There are some things I know you were planning on investigating before being rudely interrupted by these stormers.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to recall you made a roll for them already.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yes, I did. Then we got rudely interrupted by the stormers. I would actually have to double check the video archive to determine what the roll was. I know it was right at the end of 2 sessions ago, so session 6. So I'll look it up and post it in the forum.
Alright, I'll handle that then, I guess. Ralph, you can address the press with no problem. There's no need to really go into detail on that because, you're talking to them on the day it happened and mostly being honest about it, so they're happy with it. As happy as the press can be, anyway. You're still bombarded with plenty of questions through phone calls and emails about completely worthless topics.
Used to it.
Of personal note are if you would ever consider painting the Duke a different color.
No, it's part of the name, unfortunately, so unless I change the name, I can't change the color. So that's kind of redundant.
Are you and Shiome a couple?
No, not even in the slightest.
Does Mr. Priest wear anything other than a suit?
I've not seen him use anything other than a suit, but I have reason to believe he may in fact wear underpants.
We can only hope.
I'm imagining some suit pajamas.
Number one, you got my name wrong. Number two, I have a very strong fondness for a certain scented oil because since I work so much with machines, it covers the smell of, well, fuel.
It's just motor oil.
As a follow-up to the question about you and Chiome, are you and the Duke in a relationship?
Unfortunately, the Duke is a machine with no onboard AI of any kind and thus lacks personality. Therefore, the only relationship we can really have is one of me driving a car. So, no. Well,
You
yeah.
did not fully answer my question, sir.
I said no. They might be, but I've not caught them yet, so...
At some
That
point,
one's
the
up in the air.
press do leave you to think on these very strange questions.
I've heard fucking weirder. I mean, they're starting to get really varied now. Well, with having a team, now I got every other question is, are you in a relationship with this?
That is how the
I
press
got one from,
works.
are you in a relationship with Mr. Mars, who is in a secret relationship with Chiome? I've had that question, and it was dumb.
Well, yeah, because obviously.
Why do you even need to ask?
Seriously, it's obvious. Put on Facebook. Well, if they're done haranguing me, or whatever you want to call it, I will return to the tower, make sure the Duke is completely fixed up, which, yeah.
Being really damaged, so...
Yeah, exactly. Check on my team to make sure they're alright, suggest maybe we order out tonight instead of cooking, because that was stressful. I suggest, well, you know what Duke is going to suggest, so you can argue with him over what to eat. Ask if there's any techno-babble they need fixed. And that's pretty much it for the Duke. He's done his thing. Like I said, the only thing he could theoretically do is hack into to find out what that briefcase was, and that sends the wrong message, so he's not going to do it.
Just a bit, yeah.
I mean, there's other places you could theoretically hack, but you wouldn't even know where to start, so... Like I said, spying on AG is usually bad, so... Leave that alone, probably end up ordering takeout. That's about all Duke can do. If he's not handling the press, he's doing technology stuff, and...
As some quick reminders, there is always more to study about the Silver Storm, given that you do not know why it happened yet.
Yeah, I guess I'll try and do a little study on that.
To recap, you know that it was nanites, and you know that, for whatever reason, they gave people superpowers.
Spook's gonna spook. I'll do my own spooking and see if I can dig up anything technology-wise on what would,
Yes, what is that roll?
It's a 39 based on technology.
Okay, tech.
I'm trying to figure out the nanites themselves, not necessarily who made them. Well, maybe that helped, but...
The nanites are very advanced. You could probably not replicate them.
Oh, that's serious business. Now, could I not replicate them because I lack the materials to replicate them, or because they are truly just beyond my ability to understand?
Both.
Huh, alright then. Well, this is tech over my head, so that's some really serious tech. There's like maybe a handful of people who can do better than I, especially when it comes to technology. This is like a specialist job. Okay, do I know... Since I can't even manage to build these things here, there's only one person in this entire city who would have better than what we have here, which is Mars himself. And his various subsidiaries.
Mm-hmm.
So, we already kind of knew that, but do I...
I should like to remind you, Ralph, that any sufficiently advanced magic is indistinguishable from technology. Just because you don't know who could have done it doesn't mean that people who did are restricted to the ones you do know.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going by chance of knowing, and I'm thinking that what I know of any like heavily advanced machinery or mechanics or just well-known laboratories in here beyond the obvious like ones. Like there might be a couple that are a little on the sly.
Not particularly.
Okay, what's this?
I will
What are
note
these things
that in
made of?
regards to Mars, you've told him that it's nanites, but he has not had a chance to actually examine any of them yet.
I'm actually going to bring one to Alan. What's this made of?
What's what made of?
This. And then show him the baggie. Thing in the baggie. What's it made of?
It's an empty plastic bag.
Oh boy, there's a nanite in here, and I want you to use your particular powers to tell me what it's made of. Because if it's made of something unusual, I can use that to try and pinpoint where some of it might have been created, or at least the materials for it. You get me?
Silicon carbide.
No.
Well, if it ain't silicon carbide. One second. Oh, what am I? Something that fine is probably way beyond Alan's threshold of detection for routine checks.
Oh, I got
So
more
let
than
the
one.
DM do. I know. Even if you had a bag full of nanoscale machines, all I could tell you is base elements. So if there's more than if there is some element that makes up less than 50% of the composition of those things, then I'll let the DM decide what. Never mind, that's
20.
20.
Very good.
We've been fucking lucky so far.
So that if I were DMing that, I'd say that gives me the top 3 elements, but as far as structure goes, that's nowhere. Alan just doesn't do that. He doesn't create complex machines when he transmutes, so he's not capable of discerning finer.
The thing is, you can only build things so small with certain kinds of materials, so what the Duke is counting on is that the materials made are different from just common everyday stuff, something that requires some kind of specialist machine or certain kinds of chemicals to create a material that can withstand being that small.
Yo.
Alan does not know the top 3 compositions of this.
So I could recreate them, but I can't tell you what they are.
Then recreate me 3 big chunks of it, if you would, and I can find out.
You're not gonna like what you get.
Probably not. No, as long as it's not radioactive, though, we'll be fine.
So,
You done with that coffee?
Done with the
here's
coffee.
an out-of-character question for you, because I'm curious if you had anything in mind for something like this.
Pooh, me?
No, for Alan. Do you suppose Alan is capable of turning something from Earth into something that isn't from Earth?
If it exists on the periodic table, then he can approximate it.
Even if we don't know if it exists on the periodic table.
Okay then, go right ahead.
Thing is, though, all you're going to get is a variegated... I'm going to take your coffee mug and turn it into a variegated marble coffee mug, marbled of the materials of this nanite stuff. All this is going to do is give you a bigger sample for your mass spectrometer. It's not going to give you a bit more nanites.
Oh, I know that.
Congratulations, it looks like shiny metal.
Well, yeah, no, I need to break this down into its primary components as best you can, like those 3 components you cannot recognize, and then do my level best to, like, basically research what in the name of good God these things could be. Because if you can't recognize them, that means there's something else going on here. Either they've created something completely new and is completely unknown, or they're using stuff that isn't on the basic table, if you would.
Well, to be fair, I've never handled Laurentium either. I have no idea what it would feel like, so...
So you need to feel things to... Well, that actually can make it easier if we can just order what we think it might be, you touch it, then tell us if that's what it is.
Yeah, please keep me away from anything in the Actinide series.
That I think we can rule out. Otherwise, you wouldn't be touching this thing, eh?
Thank you.
yeah, I guess I get to work on that. See if basically I'm gonna actually. You mind giving me a short list of things this could be that you haven't touched? Otherwise, I got a much larger pool to pick from. Because if you've already touched some of the things in the pool, I don't need you to retouch them. Because you know they're not them.
Fair enough.
You don't got to list every single thing that you've ever touched. Just stuff it could be that you have.
I'll send you an email.
Fair enough, I'll get researching. So I'm pretty much going to do that. I'm going to, once he's gotten me the email of what he's already touched and it's not, that lets me narrow it down to a lot of things, but still, and I'll just work my way through it. Start ordering shit. Gonna have some weird freaking orders.
So, now both Ralph and Alan are busy. What will Chiyomi be doing?
Back to partying. Dun 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 dun.
To a degree, she will be just kind of lounging about waiting for something to happen. She doesn't really have a lot of the intelligence work everyone else does.
You're a stupid.
She's not dumb, but she doesn't have the resources of this era at all, and nor the common information.
Yeah.
Well, he could give you something to do. That isn't just partying.
You put on a trench coat and hat and go looking for some turtles to fight.
Great. I'm assuming that Duke actually voiced the idea of them staying in.
Yeah, he said that the press is probably gonna shark attack you if you decide to go hang out somewhere, even if it is at one of that private club.
Well, the press won't just hound you everywhere, but the paparazzi will.
That's what I'm saying.
They have to be able to catch her first.
Okay, as fast as you are,
There's more
you
of
can't
them.
outrun them. They will catch you.
You can leap off a building.
And they'll be on the bottom.
No, they'll phone their buddy who works the next 5 blocks over.
And he'll phone his buddy and repeat until the entire
Assuming
fucking...
they know what you look like, but fine,
Yeah.
fine.
They know what you look like.
I can change how I dress. Without the arms and legs, she's not that memorable.
True enough, but you still might have some odd pictures online. There's a little more to do about. If you really want to get out and stretch your legs, though, I do have a thing you could do. You could do the wonderful job of tracking down Miss Triad. I don't know about you, but everyone and their mother are going to know what direction she went in, because... Come on. She's obvious. Unless she has some ability to hide herself, that's obvious. You can maybe track down the rumor mill and figure out what direction she might have headed in, because if she just disappeared somewhere over the town, she has a hiding place. If she
Infamous?
Oh, sorry.
I'll take this moment to remind you that while people would certainly recognize Trinity, she did manage to cross almost 2,000 feet in the span of 3 seconds.
We
Check
don't
with
even
the
know if she's
airfield.
in this state anymore.
Check with the airfield. They got radar. They tell you whether or not something that fast was leaving the city. We aren't, what's that? It's like the metropolis of this realm. The other city, the other big thing, it's like main city or something. You know what I mean? It's not that big hot spot for superpowers. This place only recently got superpowers and is not used to having people going like 3,000 miles over the city daily. So anything going that fast they're gonna notice it and point it out. I hope. Maybe they don't. It's just something if you need something to do. That or go get me a pizza.
You can call in your own pizza.
I did. It hasn't arrived yet. Because we blew up a block, remember?
It also does have quite a few floors to go through before reaching you.
Yeah, see? Takes a while. It'd take you, 5 minutes?
Not your gopher.
You need something to do, that's what you can do.
And I assume that Omega is grading papers and doing her job before, you come up with a new character.
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
Honestly, I'm just going to have Chioma kind of lounge around for a bit. She's tired, and, you know...
Annoyed?
Yeah, a little bit.
You did get stuff blown up in your face.
Yeah.
That's true. I think everybody had stuff blown up in their face today.
I just don't care is the difference.
Yeah, you had things blown up in the Duke's face.
Same difference.
No, it's
No,
the
it's
Duke that
not.
doesn't care. I think
You're the one
Ralph would care if something blew up in his face.
I am the Duke and I'm the Ralph. We are the both beings. We are one.
You're not the one who has shrapnel in your, who hasn't shrapnel in your face.
This brings completely new meaning to that question about relationships.
Yeah, no one publicly knows that if the Ralph ever dies, he literally becomes the Duke. So, you know, he's keeping that on the down low for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Because that just leads more to awkwardness. He knows he's vulnerable. He knows he's eventually going to get old and die. He needs to have some way to keep going.
So there is a thing I could do, which would involve actually using this map I made, but it'd be a little uncharitable when Brad is planning to make a new character. Since it does involve more combat.
The entire university exploded.
No, that'd be uncharitable if he was still using Omega.
You could use it as an introduction to his new character or something.
That can be decided a bit later. So, unless there's something else that people need to do...
Duke is repaired. I don't know how much time I have yet to do inventions, so... yeah.
I'll let you handle any invention stuff on the forum.
Yeah, I know. I need a time frame for that to even be a thing.
You will get one.
Yeah, I'm done.
Anything Alan is doing besides writing the report?
No, he's happy unless Mars comes to visit him.
We might want to call up Mars anyway, just because A, he formed on our end of things, and B, he might know something about what's in the box. As to why he didn't tell us what's in the box, I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here.
Many multiple reasons of which you will never know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I am grasping at straws, but he might think it wise to inform us of what's in the box if we ask.
Assuming Mars knows and or cares.
Yes,
You know, this
that
was
is
one
an
of those
assumption.
aforementioned random encounters.
This is kind of his city. Like, if they were planning to pass through anything, they have to inform him on at least some level.
What makes you think that?
Because it's impolite not to, and I don't know if they want to play that on him.
Aegis is an international authority on all things superhuman.
And Mr. Mars is a very scary man. You don't want to make any more enemies than you already have. You already have, like, pan-galactic hyper-civilizations of evil aliens as enemies. I don't think you need more on the planet as it is. So how about you not piss off the local landlord, eh?
Just noting, you don't know Aegis's methods.
Not at all, nope. I don't even know if they actually have a pan-galactic evil empire to battle in space, but I'm going to assume they do, because I live in this world, and this world is
Probably not.
weird.
That's Freedom League territory. Okay, Brad.
Yep.
You have 156 character points to work with.
Yeah, we all gained one.
Yes, you are all gaining one for this when I write up the session log. It'll probably be tomorrow.
Perfectly fine with me. Hard to figure out what to put the point into.
Superpowers.
Well, the thing is, mechas work very differently from just average superpower guy. I have to...
Shush. Superpowers.
So, Ralph spontaneously learns how to see through walls.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you've been tinkering with it for weeks, maybe months. You finally got it working that weekend.
And then it exploded in your face and became an inherent ability.
I feel very awkward about it. You know that old saying, imagine the crowd is just in their underwear. Well, I can't turn it off.
So here's my... So, yeah, I haven't come up with a name or anything, but here's my basic idea.
Is it a shadow mage?
Yeah. Mati got his ass killed, and I'm somebody who found his ring.
You like rings, don't you?
I like that they're a removable power that gives me more power points.
This is true.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm basically making Mati mental attacks and summoning animals to attack things.
Okie dokie.
A continuous ability that lets me automatically know if anybody around me is lying.
Should be useful.
So you're just going to get Alan is lying, Alan is lying, Alan is lying, Alan is lying every 12 seconds or so?
Pretty much. It's resistible by will, but still.
How does that count for people that just omit things?
It's a mind read power, so limited to emotions, you could tell they're holding something back.
Yeah, it's human.
Well, then Duke is not immune to that because he's immune to mental powers. So we wouldn't be able to tell if the Duke was lying or not. Beyond the fact he pretty much never lies.
Which means that one time. Anyway, anything that isn't blacked out on that table is things that Alan knows he's never come in contact with.
Ah.
Probably for good reason on a lot of them.
Yeah, I see a whole lot of synthetics and radioactives and...
There are actually 3 radioactive elements on that list, but they're like polonium, but they're all really weak stuff that, it's the kind of stuff that's used in medical grade radiation. So safe to handle briefly. Because remember, he has to actually touch it with his bare hand to recognize it and get a sense of it so that he can replicate it.
Mm-hmm. Well then, on that note, congratulations! You stopped the Stormers from stealing whatever on Earth was in Aegis' briefcase. And you all captured all but one of them. Mostly because the last one was kind of a coward.
Success.
Woo!
I should probably link you guys to why Alan has not handled bromine. That shit's nasty.
I understand why you do not want to touch some things.
The first thing that comes to mind with bromine is that it stains things.
Oh, you. I'll link you.
Okie dokie. Well, then I think for now, that's it.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna go to bed now. I didn't sleep last night.
Oh dear. Yeah, you go to bed.
Not allowed.
I'll see y'all later then.
Night.
See y'all
Hopefully we'll
next
cause
week.
even more property damage.
Hopefully Fulton gets some dignity back.
You're not allowed to have dignity.
Don't hope for too much.
You're in the wrong group for dignity.
Oh.
Don't worry, we'll all lose dignity and go to your level. That's what's gonna happen.
We're just gonna make Fulton snap at one point, aren't you?
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
As far as I'm concerned, that's the entire point of lawful good characters. To shift them one way or the other.
At least he's not a paladin.
No. See y'all later.
Next week... Wait, I should probably save this first.
That'll help.